Hi there. Hi there. My name is Olga again and welcome back to my channel. So this year we immigrated to the USA. So I'm gonna make videos which might be helpful to people who are planning to immigrate to the USA or who have just immigrated. So you're just starting your process over here and everything is so scary, everything is new, you don't understand where to go, what to do, and so on and so on. So there will be videos about how to rent an apartment, how to find an apartment, where, then what to look at when you wanna rent this apartment, like some naughty points about this. Then I don't know, maybe how to open a bank account, because there might be some tricky moments. So again, I already made one about finding a new job, but yeah. So rent an apartment, open the bank account, and some other steps. Let's go. This video is about how to rent an apartment if you have just arrived to the USA. It's kind of strange to me, like what can be difficult about renting an apartment? You go to some website, you find an apartment, you go to an apartment complex, you rent it. Easy peasy, right? It's what I thought. But in the USA, especially if you're a new immigrant, you don't have any background, you don't have any credit score, you don't have any, I don't know what, recommendations, you don't have any job or job offer. So that might be tricky for you. So when we just arrived, we met with this issue. So first time, when we just arrived, even before we arrived, when we bought tickets, we rented an apartment using the AirBNB website. With this website, you don't need anything, but it's good for short-term period. Not like for 1 week, or I would recommend for 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. Because if you rent an apartment with Airbnb for 1 week or for 2 weeks, it might be cheaper. If you rent it for a month, it might be cheaper than for 2 weeks. I don't know why, but they just give special discounts for people who rent for a longer period of time. Because it's more profitable, maybe, I don't know, it's their problem. Or you can also check websites like booking.com and check the price for hotels. Because when we just arrived, we checked the price for apartments in our area where we planned to live, and for hotels, because there are some hotels like suite type hotels. So it's a hotel with a kitchenette, with a kitchen area in your room, and it's long time stay hotel. So the price for them is quite low. I mean, in comparison to apartments in this area, in my area where we lived, it was cheaper. So check out all variants. Then there are some websites like apartments.com or some other. So just Google rent apartment in the city where you're going. For example, you are going to I don't know, not New York. New York probably is easier. Like if you go to some smaller city, it's problematic. So, for example, you're going to Eastham. So, rent an apartment in Eastham, Massachusetts. And you will find some websites, you will find something. And so you rent it for a short period of time. And then you want to have a long-term agreement. But to make this long-term agreement is complicated because you need 1, 2, 3, 4 things. If you want to rent an apartment for a long term, like for a year, you will need first background check. But if you are new in the USA, there will be no background check. There will be background check, but they will find nothing about you. So that's a negative point for you. Then you need a proof of your income, like a job offer or a working banking account where you have some income, regularly coming income. But if you're new in the USA, you still don't have a job, again, that's a minus to you. And the third thing that you need to have is and there is a history of your previous renting history. But if you've never rented anything in the USA, again, they will see nothing in your history, and for them it's a minus. So if you have nothing, theoretically, how to rent an apartment? You just go to the website. Theoretically, again, you Google rent an apartment. You see some apartment complexes and their websites, or you can just go to Google Maps. On Google Maps, you can write apartment complex near me, and then you just click on this Google Map, click on the apartment complex, click more about it, and you can see their websites. And you visit the website of the apartment complex, you can see the price, you can see photographs of these apartments, and you can theoretically apply on the website. But again, if you don't have anything that I just described, there will probably be a refusal, and they will ask you to pay a fee. They usually ask about $50, $70, $75 for a person. So if there are 2 adults in your family applying for an apartment, you will pay 50 plus 50, 100. And then if they refuse, if they don't give you the apartment, you will not get this $100 back. So that's a non-refundable fee. That's why don't do that. Okay, so when we just arrived, we had one job offer. We had one job offer for my husband, but I didn't have a job offer because I just started looking for a job when I arrived here. In this problematic because they want to rent an apartment complex. They want to rent an apartment for you only if your income is 3 times bigger than the price of an apartment. For example, if you pay for an apartment $1,000 a month, so your income or your job offer which you have, it must be $3,000 per month for a family. Yeah, for everybody. So if we had just one job offer for one person, it was not $3,000, so we couldn't get an apartment just applying on the website. So that's why we came to these apartment complexes, and that's what I recommend you to do as well if you have no history in the USA. So you just need to go on your feet or with your car to the apartment complex and ask them, or even just offer, because our way was to offer them 2-3 monthly payments as a guarantee, because they accept this. Like, we paid for 3 months. It's not something not refundable. It just, we paid for January, February, March, April. We paid for 4 months. Yeah. They just usually take three up to 6 months, depending on how you negotiate. So we paid for these 3 months, and then you also will have to pay a deposit. That's a deposit. It's like guarantee for the apartment complex. Then when you finish your year, they will check the apartment. If everything is okay, you didn't break anything, they will give this money back to you. If there is something ruined, I don't know what you could do with the apartment, but if there is something ruined, they will withdraw this money. Or maybe you broke something, they will have to fix it, so they will just keep part of this money. So that's a deposit. But be ready. When you are going to rent an apartment, you need to be ready to pay for a month, maybe 2-3 months, and a deposit. Deposit is the same sum of money. Well, it depends. Maybe about $500, $700. I'm not sure. It depends on an apartment. Okay. So we just came to this apartment complex and we said, we don't have any history here in the USA. It's our first apartment. We don't have any background. We don't have credit history, because we just opened our first bank cards, and we didn't have anything. I mean, we had money on the bank account, so we could show the, what did we show? We could show the printing of some papers from our bank, which show how much money we had on our account. But they didn't really need it. They just wanted to see that we are able to pay. So we paid for 3-4 months, and that was it. Again, so you come to one apartment complex and they say, no, we are not going to do that. So you keep calm and go to another apartment. So we visited 1, 2, 3, 4 apartment complexes, and in 2 of them they told us that, yeah, that's a good plan because they work with the same scheme with other immigrants, and it's fine. So they can rent you with these conditions. So you just take it. We chose one apartment complex which was cheaper. because okay, that depends what you want to choose. Okay, so how do you want to choose your apartment? So how to choose an apartment complex? Because when you look at Google Maps, there are hundreds of them, 1, 2, 3, a lot of them in every even little city. From this point, you might see, okay, first you look at the price, and then look at your requirements. Maybe you want something closer to your job place. Maybe you want something near the park. Maybe you want something near to your community. For example, if you are from Mexico, you want to live closer to Mexican people. If you are Russian like me, you want to live with Russians. Maybe you don't want this, so you want to avoid them. So you can find all this information somewhere. There are websites which can provide you with information about ethnical groups, but I don't think that they work because it usually changes very fast. When we started living in our community, I don't know, I saw some people, and now a year later they're all different because the other people moved and there are new people and they're changing all the time. Also, you might be interested in checking the criminal background, not yours, but the area where you want to live. So to check the criminal map, you can Google criminalmap.com or some other. There are many of them because some of them work for one area but don't work for another. In my area, I couldn't find anything. Like I can see criminal stories about some nearby city, but there is nothing about my city. What's going on? So it's perfect, but it's not. So you can look at the rating of schools near you. The higher the rating of school is, the better the place is. For some reason, because I don't know why. Again, even if you don't have children, if you're not going to go to this school, but with the school rating, you might decide that this area is better, nicer for some reasons. I don't know, that there are some better conditions. So you can just pick this area and start searching or walking around these apartment complexes in this area. Might be that you want to rent a house. Sorry about that, I cannot help you. Because I was also considering renting a house. For some reason, because house is nicer, so on, so on. But I couldn't find anything affordable in my area. Like I used the same website like Redfin and Zillow.com, but there was nothing affordable, so the houses are more expensive, of course. And I found several variants on Craigslist and I do not recommend it because I had 2 meetings and they were both frauds. So as soon as you go to Craigslist, you see there is some strange price. It's like, it's way cheaper than usually on Zillow somewhere else. Don't believe it, it's fraud. They start communicating, they say that they are, what did the guy text me? That it's his house and he's a truck driver and he's out of town for many months, so there is no use of this house and he decided to just rent it really cheap and he doesn't care much. That's the usual story. Don't believe it, it's fraud. Okay, so let's sum up. So if we want to rent an apartment, we need to go to an apartment complex and you will need 3 documents. First, you will need the proof of your income, so some kind of job offer if you have it on paper printed, or you can get a bank statement from your bank account, like how much money you have, that there is income some coming regularly. They will see it from your statement and that will be a good proof. Or you can also offer to pay for 3-4 months right now and they also can accept it, or maybe not. And the 4th thing that you will need all your documents. If you have social security, they will ask for it. Definitely, you need social security to rent an apartment in the USA. If you don't have it, or you just applied for it, you went to social security services, you can ask there that the paper that there it is in process, that it's coming up soon. This paper will be enough for the apartment complex to already start your like housing procedure, because my husband didn't have a social security number. I had mine, and we just showed this picture or paper from social security services office, and they said okay, they come down that we are all legal, that it's all right. And then they will need like 3-4 days for your background check. So if you already renting, don't believe that it will be tomorrow. You are paying, and then within 3-4 days you only come into your apartment. Only some apartment complexes rent really urgently, and you can get inside within 2 days, but it's not common situation. Even when we paid, then we needed to make an agreement with the electricity company and gas company, and only after this, because there is no light, there is no electricity in your house, and they don't let you in. So you need to make an agreement with the gas and electricity company, and only after it you will get into it. That's it. Okay, next video I'm gonna tell you about some tricky moments, like what to pay attention to get into a good apartment, because there are some minuses which you cannot like pay attention. You're just excited that you finally got it, and you need to pay attention to the things, and I will just make a list of what might be necessary to look at in the first place when you just enter the apartment, how to choose it wisely. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. If you know somebody who will need these recommendations, you can send them the link. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.